We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden.
Trump allegedly says, hey, I know what I'll say to Putin. I am not going to say it now, but he said this to multiple people. And then Biden takes it, runs with it, allows them to shoot long-range missiles into Russia. Now Putin is threatening. One of the things they said that Trump was going to do logistically to help mitigate the Ukraine war, I don't remember him saying this out loud, but I remember this being said, was that he was potentially going to use the threat of long-range missiles being shot into Russia by Ukraine. What does Biden approve?
I don't know.
Long-range missile, American-made long-range missiles being shot into Russia by Ukraine. So this is front news, CNN, everybody's talking about it. So Biden or his team, his handlers, authorizes something that Trump was allegedly going to use as a bargaining chip to try and de-escalate.
Oh,
because here's the thing. Now maybe I'm wrong on this, but all of this like guns blazing, we're going to deport 10 million people, we're going to do this. A lot of this stuff. Now maybe I'm wrong. To be fair, we'll have to see how it plays out. The tariffs, what a lot of analysts are saying, these are de-escalatory threats to mitigate what can happen.
Yeah, Biden's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll let him do it now.
Right. So he doesn't understand.
No, that wasn't the playbook.
That these are deterrents.
Yes.
So when he's out there saying, we're going to tariff China 100%, what people believe he's saying is we're going to threaten China with 100% tariff. They're going to back off from tariffing us. And now there's equilibrium.
Yeah.
Why would we trade with someone that doesn't have fair trade deals with us? Now, again, I'm not saying this was going to happen. When he says we're going to, if everyone's going to go, it's going to deter people. It's going to serve a deterrent to get people not coming to the border.
Yeah.
It's going to deter people from not, right? And so, again, I don't know if this is true. I guess time will tell. So when Trump allegedly says, hey, I know what I'll say to Putin. I am not going to say it now, but he said this to multiple people. And then Biden takes it, runs with it, allows them to shoot long-range missiles into Russia. Now Putin is threatening nuclear weapons against Ukraine. Which
Is
now,
that for real?
Yes. If that's a thing,
Okay.
we're entering World War III territory, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Okay.
Because we're gonna let Ukraine dissolve
Before going into World War III?
Yes.
Just let them take it?
Yes. If
let them have it.
We're like, well, Biden really fumbled. Now Ukraine doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh.
Out of all the countries to be nuked and just completely obliterated off the face of the planet,
no.
Ukraine's not one.
You can't let just Ukraine rock out, bro.
I'm saying Ukraine's not one that we're gonna be like, maybe we should all die.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Destruction.
Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna give up the eastern part of Ukraine. It's already gone.
They're just like, take it. Don't blow us up.
Just take it, that whole region, and just be done. You can't just give them Ukraine. For far too long, the bar for Christians has been set low. More Christians are skipping church, watching online, too busy for group, and not serving in their local church communities. They go about their lives not feeling connected to Jesus, and in turn, their salvation goes unnoticed by their unsaved peers. They've become indistinguishable from the world around them. We need to shift from asking, what is the bare minimum I can do for Christ, and start asking, what would it look like to live a life entirely devoted to Him? 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 12 describes a life that seems to have been forgotten. Live such good lives among the pagans that though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day He visits us. So join me and my favorite pastors, podcasters, and performers March 27th through 29th at the Bless God Summit in Southern California, and discover your personal ministry, calling, and purpose when living in complete devotion to Jesus. U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles to strike into Russia. So this is different strategy here. Remember, they've been not allowing this.
Yeah.
Right? And now they're allowing this.
Yeah. I also like that they put U.S. instead of Biden. CNN's like, it's not Biden.
Outgoing U.S. President Biden has authorized Ukraine to use powerful long-range American weapons inside Russia, according to two U.S. officials with the decision. Decision comes as thousands of North Korean troops deploy in support of Moscow's war effort, which is, by the way, that's a plot twist.
Hello.
North Korea sending troops there. Sparking concern from Biden and his advisors that their entry could lead to a dangerous new phase in the war. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but do they really think North Korean soldiers are going to move the needle in this situation?
We don't have a lot of respect for the North Koreans.
I don't.
Because I think the only time we ever see them in any sort of military action is when they're dressed up and they're like marching.
Yeah. The Kremlin responded by saying that the move shows that the Biden administration wants to throw oil on the fire of the conflict, while Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky said that the missiles will speak for themselves. Gosh, that's such a bad quote.
This man thinks he's still an actor.
What is he doing?
He's like, this is good line. Put this in my movie.
Yeah. Now I want you to pull up Putin's response to this.
Oh goodness.
Because this is where it gets dicey. Putin fine-tunes Russia's nuclear doctrine after Biden arms decision on Ukraine in clear signal to West.
Okay.
Putin has updated Russia's nuclear doctrine, so this is like their own internal protocol of when they will or won't use these sorts of weapons.
Okay.
Right? 2 days after his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden granted Ukraine permission to strike targets deep inside Russia with American-made weapons. Under the updated doctrine, Moscow will consider aggression from any non-nuclear state, but with the participation of a nuclear country, a joint attack on Russia.
Oh man!
So this is now escalating.
I mean, that's a unreasonable decision, but I could see the logic.
Yeah. The change comes as Russia claims Ukraine fired the U.S.-made missile into the Russian region. The attack, if confirmed, would work the first such use by Ukraine since Biden gave the green light.
Oof.
Okay. The Russian government had previously signaled that the U.S. approval would be dangerous escalation of the war in Ukraine, now 1,000 days old. The Kremlin began this fresh round of nuclear saber rattling Tuesday, saying the revised military doctrine would, in theory, lower the bar to first use nuclear weapons. In a phone call with reporters, Kremlin spokesperson noted the change means that the Russian Federation reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in the event of aggression using conventional weapons against it and or the Republic of Belarus. Nuclear deterrence is a pillar of Russian military doctrine, but the revision appears to broaden the definition of what would be considered aggression.
That's not nothing.
That's not good. And it's crazy that this was something that would have been used as a threat of deterrence, now being the long-range missiles being shot into Russia by Ukraine was going to be a threat Trump uses deterrence. And now that's been greenlit. And now you got Russia who's trying to do their own deterrent because end of the day, I think what Putin's after, and I'm not a Putin fanboy. I think I don't think he's a great guy.
But they're all deterring each other.
What Putin wants is he's hyper paranoid. He feels like ethnically the Ukrainian people and the Russian people are the same.
Okay.
And he wants a buffer zone between the West and Russia. That's what he wants. And that's why he wants Ukraine, basically. So I hope that this gets de-escalated and that ultimately someone pops in and gives him a certain chunk. And then, probably the majority Russian-speaking chunk of Ukraine gives him that. And then you settle the war, you clean this up. I hope that's what happens here.
Yeah, I do too. Would not like to live through a nuclear disaster.
That would be awful.
That would not be fun.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict.
They got that dim lighting on him, huh?
Yeah, I don't know who's shooting this or why they got lit like this.
Between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war.
Jeez.
We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country.
Neocons, the conservatives of the 2000s, the Bush era, Dick Cheney era conservatives, their agenda was we want to spread democracy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And so like some of these countries don't want to be democracy. They don't want to be liberated. And you don't go into other places to liberate them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those places have to want to be democracies.
Yeah, hello.
You know, and so he's kind of railing against people in his own party. And why is this important? Well, because come to find out, a lot of the neocons in the 2000s, oddly enough, had large investments in the military industrial complex. So as people were going into wars, what did you have? You had the families who were in these conservative
Making bank.
making a lot of money. And so a lot of people don't understand that Trump reshaping the Republican Party is because he's viewed as an outsider who's independently wealthy. So it's not, whether you're on the left or the right, someone's always going to be finessing and figuring out. That's why like Nancy Pelosi and her husband are rich. It's like you didn't make that in public service. You finessed the stock market, insider trading, something. You're worth $100 million now or whatever. As a politician, fam, right? You didn't create nothing. You don't have a service you sell. You don't have a patent, right? So the same thing that folks on the right, just the folks on the right tend to be connected to the military industrial complex. So that's what he's railing against. But I don't quite understand, like, what do you want? Like, you got it. What are you asking Biden to step down? Like, how can you fix this right now? Right now we have an issue because of a poor tactical decision by Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's not good.
A third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.